Hello, Well Life family. It's Emily and Rebecca here, and in honor of National Nutrition Month, we're starting something new. This is our first Tasty Tuesday, so we hope that some of you can join us today.
So we're going to start out our Tasty Tuesdays with a Foodie Mythbuster series, and today is all about the 1200 calorie myth. So we have a lot of patients that come in, and they're saying they're trying to stick to 1200 calories. So why is that, Emily?
It's a good question, and it's what we ask patients, like, okay, you're trying to stick to 1200 calories, why? And we get a lot of different answers. We get, well, somebody at the gym told me that this was appropriate, or a family member, or I read it in a magazine, or it's just what I've heard that you need to do to lose weight. And so we have heard it so often, probably at least on a weekly basis, that we thought it would be fun to kind of dig in and figure out where that number came from.
Okay, so who would 1200 calories a day be appropriate for?
A 3-year-old, pretty much. There are probably some situations where 1200 calories is appropriate for an adult, but I don't think it's very often, do you?
No, I don't think so either. Okay, so this 1200 calorie myth is so prevalent. I wonder, where did it come from? Where did this start? Who started this myth?
This is what we found out, and this is really fun. We've had a good time with this. So in 1918, there was a book published called Diet and Health, and it was by a woman named Lulu Hunt Peters. And according to Lulu, your morals were closely associated with how many calories you consumed and the size of your waistline. And so we have some really fantastic quotes from this book that we want to share with you guys. There was no science behind this, by the way. She just kind of, I think, pulled that number out of thin air. But someone asked her about dieting. Will I always have to keep it up? And Lulu says, the answer is yes, you will always have to keep up dieting, just as you always have to keep up other things in life that make it worth living. Being neat, being kind, being tender, reading, studying, loving. Some of those things are great to keep up. We're not big fans of the word dieting. If any of you have met with us before, you probably know that. And then you want to do the chocolate creams one.
Okay. So, Lulu would go on her little, she called them debauches, and she would want to eat all the sweet things. Apparently her thing was chocolate creams. Not entirely sure what that was in 1918, but so here's what she says. If there comes a time when you think you will die unless you have some chocolate creams, go on a CC or a calorie debauch. I do occasionally and will eat as many as 10 or so, but I take them before dinner. And then for me to balance my dinner, I'll have a bowl of clear soup at 25 calories, one cracker at 25 calories, and for a total of 50 calories. And thus you see, every supposed pleasure in sin, i.e. eating, will furnish more than its equivalent of pain, dieting, until belief in material life, which would be the chocolate creams, is destroyed. That's how Lulu perceived calories and intake and, binging on calories too.
So we will also say that it was about being patriotic. This came out, at the end of World War I. And rationing wasn't as big a thing in World War I like it was in World War II. But it was, according to Lulu, important for Americans not to hoard food in their own anatomy. So it was a patriotic thing to cut your calories to 1200 a day.
Yeah. And so this book gained so much popularity, and that people, that's where we get this, some people attribute them being thin or whatever to having good morals. And thanks to Lulu, she's kind of the one that perpetuated this, that you're not a good person unless you eat 1200 calories a day. And so, I don't know, how do you feel on 1200 calories a day?
I have done it before. I have limited myself to 1200 calories a day, and I was tired. I had a lot of naps, no energy. I lost weight, but no one wanted to be around me because I was also a super grouch because I just felt like garbage. Have you ever done it before?
No, I haven't. Not on purpose.
My mom did, and she said for 3 days, and then she was like, well, I won't say exactly what she said because it's not appropriate, but she said, forget this. I'm hungry and I'm going to eat something. So there was a good analogy that I saw the other day that I really liked, and it was by a woman named Noelle. She has a website that I like called Coconuts and Kettlebells, and she talks a lot about calories and dieting and all of these things that we're supposed to believe. And her analogy for this was like, if I told you that you are limited to 50 ounces of water, no matter what, and you're working outside on a summer day and you've hit your 50 ounces of water, but you're not allowed any more for the rest of the day, what's going to happen the next time you allow you're going to drink all you can. You are going to go crazy on the water. You're going to binge on the water. And the whole thing is our caloric needs vary from day to day, from week to week. They vary. And so just setting that strict limit on yourself is not going to be doing yourself any favors.
Right. And so, if we're not, if the 1,200 calorie thing isn't, really something that's real or has the scientific evidence behind it, I mean, is it all about calories in and calories out then?
Not necessarily. I mean, calories matter. I don't want this to come across like they don't, because calories do matter, but the quality of calories also matter very much. There was a study that I reference, and it's in some of Dr. Ely's lectures, if any of you have done his Detox with the Doc or any of our programs, but there was a study where they took 2 groups of people and fed them the same number of calories every day, except that one group got 100 extra calories of candy and one group got 100 extra calories of peanuts, fat and protein. And the candy group, eating just 100 extra calories of sugar, they gained weight, whereas the peanut group lost weight. So the quality, the type of calories that you're consuming also matters very much.
Okay, and so how can we figure out how many calories we do need?
Well, if there's not a number that we can give you, there's some mathematical formulas that you can plug some stuff in online and maybe get semi-close. They really don't take a lot of things into effect, like your potential autoimmune conditions, your history, your injuries. They don't take your personal body into account. And so we do have a basal metabolic rate test here. It's pretty easy. You come in and you breathe through a tube for 12 minutes. You get a pretty printout of your personal caloric range for weight loss. And it gives us a lot more personalized idea of how many calories a day you might need. Again, it's going to vary from day to day, but it does give us a good place to start.
Yeah, good. Okay, well, we hope that you enjoyed that, and we would love to hear from you. If you have any ideas for future Tasty Tuesday topics, please comment. We want to know. We're going to continue this series. We'll do another Mythbusters in the series, and just let us know what you think.
Yeah, so if there's a myth you want busted, if there's anything you're curious about, there's so much conflicting evidence and conflicting stories in nutrition. And if anybody's done a group with us, our Life Renewed group or anything like that, you know that we love feedback. We love questions, we love input. We're here to help you, and you can tell us the best way to do that. And we're also, by the way, just going to mention that we are available for one-on-one appointments as well.
Okay.
But thanks to everybody who took the time to watch this, and I hope you learned.